Thanks so much for joining us today here on America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker and Chaz Price. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. The website's arhq.com. Don't forget, if you missed the first half of the show or you want to catch up on previous editions, available via podcast on YouTube. Just search for America's Retirement Headquarters wherever you consume your media. It's there for you on demand. Again, America's Retirement Headquarters. A woman wrote to an advice columnist and said she was planning to retire at age 62, and she asked if it was a good idea to use her 401k for 8 years and then start taking Social Security at 70. She has $750,000 saved up and plans to take withdrawals of about $1,700 a month. She also has a pension, which brought in another $1,500 a month. So if she came to you guys, if she came to the office and she asked you the same question, what would you tell her? And is this the kind of question you get asked often?
I think it's a great question. And in fact, it's a question that, looking at the stats, I don't get asked that question very much. In fact, if we look at the Social Security Administration's website, the most recent publication, what happens is an overwhelming majority of people are actually still opting to collect benefits early. So in the year 2022, according to the government's website, ssa.gov, about 23% of people claimed benefits at the age of 62. Another 26% of people claimed benefits before age 63 to full retirement age. There was about 28% of people that collected benefits at full retirement age, but 15% of that group, or roughly half of that group, were either newly entitled, and the other half of that group were people that were on a disability conversion. So they were on Social Security disability converting over. So less people are drawing benefits still at full retirement age or delaying later. So I really like this question because there is some power in delaying benefits to later. And, when she looked at it, one of the questions that she asked is, should I live off of my investment assets in the early years, possibly optimizing my benefits till later in life? And when you look at it, people oftentimes will make a quick decision on Social Security. We'll find people will either take Social Security early because they feel they need the income.
Or entitled to it.
Yeah, they're entitled. They hear the reports about Social Security is going bankrupt. Maybe they better get the money while they can. And these are a lot of the reasons why people take Social Security early. By doing so, what happens is you end up with a lifetime penalty in reductions of benefits. But folks, listen to this. Social Security could be your biggest asset. And making the right decision could make tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars during the course of your lifetime in the amount of income that you receive. So a married couple, both age 61, one entitled to benefits of $2,000 a month at full retirement age, and a spouse entitled to $1,000 a month at full retirement age. If they collected benefits at the age of 62 and both lived to the age of 85, the lifetime benefit that they could receive is $930,692. So it's $1 million question, right? When is the best time to take benefits? And either way, even in this example of them drawing benefits early at the age 62, which again gives them a lifetime reduction and penalty for drawing early, that's still nearly $1 million. And, when you look at their IRAs, their 401ks, their pension, their other assets, their house, their car, their bank accounts, I bet that Social Security is their biggest or second biggest asset they own, which is why it's so crucial to make sure you're making a customized solution and it is unique to your family situation. Not what you learned in the water cooler, not what you read online, not even what you heard on the radio show here today. It's based upon your unique numbers and knowing your numbers, because we went back and we ran an optimization report for this couple. And if we looked at an optimization strategy, it could provide total benefits of $1,222,238. So folks, don't shortchange your family. The optimized approach in this example could provide an additional $291,546 in lifetime benefits. So delaying Social Security could be the right approach. And that's where I think a coach like us comes into play, because the follow-up to that, Chaz, is I oftentimes hear people say, well, I'm not working till 70, right? I'm not working till 66. I'm ready to retire. And we're not telling you not to retire. We're telling you to talk with a professional and have a conversation just like this woman who wrote to the columnist about what do you do to fund the gap. And that's where somebody like you come into play, Chaz, and talking to somebody about funding the gap to optimize their overall benefits.
Right. Funding the gap is such an important concept because it does generally mean the difference between your money lasting for the rest of your life and having a greater potential of potentially not having enough. I'm thinking of a scenario today. I'm going a different direction. I had something written out, but I was speaking with a client today, and on the board, Nolan, we had the two scenarios, taking Social Security at 62, one at 70. And the scenario where he was taking Social Security at 62 resulted in a 60% probability of success, way below the tolerance that we would feel comfortable with. On the proposed strategy, which was I had originally looked at 70 for him. He's like, there's no way. I'm taking it now. But 67, showed like a 90% probability of success. It improved the numbers so much that I was almost surprised. So I'm looking through and yeah, it was actually correct. But it was still an arm wrestling match to get him off that topic of taking it at 62. And I did some research after that. I'm like, why? The numbers don't lie. It's right there on the screen. I'm a numbers guy. You are. But that's just even not enough for people sometimes to know that the numbers, are almost always going to make sense. So I think it has to do psychologically. A lot of times I think people are just, it's a sense of ownership that I think we have to disconnect people from Social Security and entitlement. It's the biggest, and I would say loss aversion as well. These are some of the psychological issues and characteristics of a human in general that we are generally more apt to be fearful of losing something than we are to understand the benefits of potential gain. So I think it's important for you guys that are listening, that are thinking about making the Social Security decision, that you shift your paradigm. We've been working on screaming from the rooftops. You've talked about it today. Don't think about Social Security in terms of a $2,300 benefit. Think about it in terms of $500,000 versus $800,000 to $1 million over your lifetime. If we were talking in those type of amounts, I think that would resonate with people a lot more. That if I were going to offer you $1 million versus $500,000, you're going to take notice. You're going to pay attention. You're going to have lots of questions. It's not just going to be simply, well, I'm taking it because I can. I'll take the $500,000 because I'm entitled to it and I can get it now. Mm-hmm. That's a little bit more in-depth conversation, a little bit more sophisticated, for lack of a better words, thought process that needs to go in this, because again, it's all about not losing the game. Going back to football, we don't want you to run out of money first and foremost. Whatever strategy ultimately has a greater possibility of you running out of money is the one that we're not going to recommend. And almost, I don't want to say 90% of the time, taking Social Security, at least full retirement age, is the most successful strategy. So shift your paradigm from income to assets. It's your number one asset in retirement. Don't blow it. You make sure that you're taking it in consideration of your family's goals, not just yours, the stuff at the water cooler. Talk to a professional and know that there are these cognitive biases out there that we all suffer from in terms of loss aversion, where you just don't want to miss out on something. And then entitlement, that, it's ours, so we should have it. We gotta separate ourselves from those emotional decisions and make logical financial decisions.
Earlier we had talked about 2033 as the date where, some major changes were going to have to happen before then for Social Security to remain solvent, whether that's a reduction in benefits. And that could lead to some people being fearful and doing just that, saying, well, I'm going to go and get it as soon as possible to get what I can. Not necessarily going to be the right move. So once again, bringing up the Social Security risk score report to find out what could happen in the event of a reduction of benefits and what you could do to counteract that ahead of time. And again, I want to invite you guys out to the Social Security and Medicare workshops that the team at America's Retirement Headquarters is having September 5th and September 6th. You can go to the website, arhq.com, click on the events tab to find out how to go and reserve your seat. Or if you just want to get right in front of them, skip the line and get in front of them and have that report run as soon as possible. That's real easy as well. You can do that right on the website as well. Or give a phone call, 419-794-3030.